Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, a land of vast cultures, faiths, and histories. For generations, more than 200 million people lived side by side, but years ago, something shifted. In northern Nigeria, violence took root. Insurgency and terror swept through communities, leaving countless lives lost and forcing many more to flee the only homes they had ever known. Out of this chaos came another wound, the mass abduction of women and girls.
Boko Haram fighter.
200 abducted schoolgirls.
Boko Haram stole nearly 300 teenage girls from their school, and thousands of other women and children also kidnapped.
Today, some have returned. They are free, but freedom does not erase memory. They carry stories marked by fear, loss, and unimaginable endurance. They survive with experiences that words often fail to hold. And yet, despite all they have endured, too many of their voices remain unheard.
Ten years ago, I decided to create this NGO because I work a lot on the field in many conflict zones, and I could see that there was invisibility on sexual violence committed in conflict period. The three objectives of the NGO, it's advocacy, to give visibility and to carry the voices of survivors. It's to open paths for justice, so documentation, and it's about deploying a project, in different conflict zones like we're doing in North Nigeria.
But to build an effective response, one must first dismantle myths.
For me, the biggest misconception about conflict-related sexual violence is the fact that we think it touches only women and girls, but it touches also boys and men. It has no religion, it has no culture, and it happens in any conflicts in all over the planet.
Since the beginning of the insurgency, the non-state armed group has used sexual violence as a weapon to terrorize, to block people, to block community. A lot of women have been held in captivity, with forced pregnancy. So this caused a lot of really complex trauma. It also causes stigmatization when they are back in the communities.
Survivors suna facing challenges in the sense that kamar ana kyamansu.
Sun fuskance tsungumi sosai, wariya ba kaunansu, ana kyamansu cewa sun fito daga Boko Haram.
One of the major misconceptions is believing they are also part of the insurgency.
A lokacin da muka zo ma ko mun zo na wani wurin ma ana guje mu sosai, ana gan kamar mu ne ma Boko Haram din gaba daya.
But the survivors too also have a different misconception too towards humanitarians. They felt they are being used, and that is why they don't want to come in contact with humanitarians.
Dama muna cikin tararradi ne, ba mu cika son shiga cikin mutane ba, don kaman mutanen suna kyaman mu ne. So mu cika shiga cikin mutane ba, so da muka je ma mun je kaman a dan shakku-shakkun mu da dan tsoro-tsoron mu, haka da kunya-kunyan mu.
Breaking this cycle of stigma and distrust requires more than good intentions. It requires a bridge built on humility, patience, and a fundamental shift in approach.
In order to get good acceptance, you need to listen to them. You have to bring down yourself to their level. You show them that everything that happens to them might happen to you too. Listen more and talk less. There you can gain their trust.
Abubuwan da gaskiya ya faru da ni, abubuwa da yawa ya faru da ni gaskiya. Lokacin da muna canjeji a wajen wayace mutane, abubuwa da yawa ya faru da mu, mun sha wahala sosai ba kaɗan ba. Don gaskiya kamar ni na sha wahala ba kaɗan ba, don ni a hannunsu ma sun taɓa min duka ma. Sun ɗore ni ma, don wani lokaci sati ɗaya ma ba na iya ɗaga abubu har in yi aiki ma ina kwance. Na sha wahala da abubuwa da yawa ta sanadiyar wani abin, har sun raba ni da ƴatan da yau kusan shekara na ban ganta ba. Ba na jin labarin ta, ba na ganin ta.
Dama ina neman inda zan faɗa in ɗan ji sanyi a raina. so babu ne abun ba abin da zaka gaya wa mutum wani ya je ya yada wa wani ka fito ana nuna ka da yatsa ba.
This profound need to be heard without fear, to share a burden in absolute safety, became the driving force for innovation. The answer was not to remove the human element, but to use technology to protect it.
So we developed Backup, and Backup is a web application totally secured that allows two things. The first one is that it enables survivors or witness to provide us on the tool testimonies, evidence, all that kind of things that can be used for justice. It's also a tool that enables survivors simply to tell their stories.
So it's a technological tool. You have access to a questionnaire, meaning that firstly, you don't have to talk to someone. So regarding the complexity of the situation in Borno State regarding stigmatization and taboo, survivors, they don't have to talk to someone. They talk to a device. They won't be judged.
And I say Backup is super interesting because of the various functionalities that come with it. We have the informative functionality that helps you to learn more about CRSV and its response. You have the emergency care feature on the Backup tool that gives a sort of, let's say, first aid to a survivor in need, irrespective of the location. And then you have the reporting tool in itself, where you can report cases of CRSV or give information about CRSV crimes that you have witnessed.
So this Backup tool have been translated into Hausa and Kanuri language, which we all believe that these are most predominant language in Borno State, and working with these people, they'll be able to understand these information in their local language.
We explained everything to them in local languages for them to understand how to use, and we even take some time to come and receive their testimonies ourselves, because they might not know how to use it at an instance. It is a gradual process, since most of them are not used to it and cannot read what it is written in it.
Identification is really complicated. We observed one last thing, it's the lack of coordination between the services that support survivors.
And then the idea was to work in coordination with Library Without Borders that works on education.
The Library Without Borders are also coming on board with what we call Ideas Box, which comprises of the Ideas Cube as well as other tools. This Ideas Cube have online-offline server where a lot of educational content as well as other different learning content are being deployed on the server.
You have tablets, you have a laptop, you have a camera, you have microphones, you have a projector. So it gives you room to create activities, it gives you room to do a lot of things. Since Libraries Without Borders have been able to make thousands of information available offline, Women Efforts of War now is bringing this online web app, and then it is developed or converted into an offline tool. As an offline tool, it is available now to people in hard to reach areas. You do not need the internet anymore to access Backup.
For a global idea to take root locally, it needs local guardians. We Are Not Weapons of War operates on a core principle: partnership.
But the way we work, We Are Not Weapons of War all the time, is that in any territory, we work with civil society organizations, so we choose operational partner that we trust, that know the community, and that the cases with Grassroots Researchers Association, and that's the way we work everywhere.
Grassroots Researchers Association is a non-governmental organization, a national organization registered in Nigeria, and Grassroots Researchers Association is human rights-based and women-led organization that have been into implementation since 2016, and GRA is working with women and girls, most of the population we are targeting, and we are very strong in the protection sector, where we focus on intervention to most marginalized group among these women and girls, especially the survivors of conflict-related sexual violence, as well as the survivors of GBV.
We use the data that we collect from the communities to inform the kind of programming that we do.
We've been doing a lot of community sensitization and awareness, and then we have our community officers, community-led officers that go around the communities every now and then discussing with the community stakeholders. That is why in one of our programs, we invite community leaders, community stakeholders. We discuss with them because they are the closest to the community members. So whatever they hear from us, they help us disseminate the information and key messages.
An shiga sensitization sosai a cikin al'ummarmu. Ana kira stakeholders kamar su bulamomi, camp chairman da su lawanai. Ana sensitizing mutane, public awareness.
Samu karuwa muwa ta yanda za mu ci gaba da wayar da kan al'umma mu gaskiya mun ji daɗin alakar tsakanin da kungiyar GRA sosai.
While you are doing the professional part, they will also be doing their own part so that everyone will be on the balance, knowing what is to be done and what is not to be done. And for them to understand that this is something that is new and it has come to stay and it has come to help.
Kin ga da gaskiya wannan abun ba mu taba sani shi ba taba zuwa mana da batun wannan abun ko dan a wayar mana kanmu ko kuwa mu karbe mu ko wani abun da yake faruwa mu ba mu taba sani ba amma zuwan ku kun zo kun fahimtar da mu abubuwa da yawa wanda dai kam abun da zai mana amfani ko game da anguwa da mun fitar da kin ga mutane da yawa suna kiyamanka amma yanzu da ka zo kai zo ana mana program din nan abun da kan gaskiya ya bambanta kamar da na da.
Har ga Allah na samu nasuwa fiye da da. Yanzu ba ga wato ka same ni ba da ban fita. Ban ma so mutum ma ya gani balle ma kuma mutum ya ce mini ya gani. Amma da taimakon su da irin lectures da suke mana, faɗakarwa da suke gaya mana da suke kwantar mana da hankalinmu. A yanzu kan alhamdulillah ko ina ma zan iya zuwa.
Don grassroots gaske da suka fara zo suna training namu halin da muna ciki. Gaba ɗaya ma yanzu mun manta kai har ma idan time da kuke zuwa mana da in har ba ku zo ba sai muna filin wani iri haka domin duk lokacin da kuka zo kuna koyar mana kuna ba mu gargadi kuna mana sai muna gan kaman ba wanda ya kai mu yanzu daɗin da muke ji.
This transformation from isolation to integration creates a new metric for success. It moves beyond numbers to measure restored dignity, community cohesion, and the tangible evidence of trust.
For me, the biggest achievement is when a community leaders come and say to us, okay, because of the sensitization, because of backup, now it has reduced stigma in our community. Or we have identified new cases of CRSV survivors. So this for me, it's the main achievement of the project is knowing that all this work of sensitization is actually working and is helping people, because like CRSV, it doesn't only affect survivors, but it affects the whole community.
I think success for me is when you feel that there is a trust in community, and I think this is what exactly is happening here. Success for me is like not later than this morning I was entering a room and there was this workshop and there were lots of men here, community leaders were here, and for me it's a success. It means that they feel concerned, about what's going on, and for me this is a big success. Success is the high number of testimony we already are gathering on the tool while it's been deployed a few weeks ago. This is a success, and a real trust, and also the capacity that an international NGO coming from France with our expertise but also with our culture can work hand in hand with an organization that is really grassroots like GRA, and we can work together and together, you know, we are bringing to each other lots of things, and the result of that is a full trust in the entire communities we are working with. So to me, this is a big success.
We have had a lot of success from them themselves, okay, how they now feel after this period of implementation, how this project have been able to shape them, to integrate them better into their own community, and how they are now realizing, like, getting back to themselves and then feeling that, okay, yes, I can be able to do better, like becoming a better person of themselves now in the community.
Kamar da songoma baka isa ka shiga taron mutane ba, baka isa ka shiga biki ba, sawun sallan tarayuma baka isa ka je ba, in ka sa naka wannan yayi haka wannan yayi haka, kai ma abin tsoro ne. Amma yanzu da aka wayar da kan sun gane kai ma ba da son ra'ayinka ba, su ma zai iya faruwa da su.
And I think it's very important because what it says, especially if you're a survivor of sexual violence, is that I'm not a weapon. You cannot use me. You cannot use my body as a battlefield. I'm a person.